Hello friends, my name is Ryan. I'm an alcoholic drug addict. Today is March 12th. I'll be reading the Thought for the Day from our 24-hour-a-day book. Welcome. Alright, this one's going to be a little challenging for me, but I'll try to read these as best I can here. A couple words are a little complicated for me, and hopefully I can pronounce them. Hopefully I can get them right here. So here we go. The prodigal son took his journey into a far country and wasted his substance with riotous living. That's what we alcoholics do. We waste our substance with riotous living. When he came to himself, he said, I will arise and go to my father. That's what you do in AA. You come to yourself. Your alcoholic self is not your real self. Your sane, sober, respectable self is your real self. That's why we alcoholics are so happy in AA. Have I come to myself? Okay, yes. Despite these few sentences here in the first couple sentences, I really didn't, I guess I can understand them, but I do here understand. That's why we alcoholics are so happy in AA. Have I come to myself? I have. You know, my real self, you know, I found out, this is a perfect story, how I like to explain this. Even throughout my 20 years of abusing alcohol and drugs, even as a kid, you know, if I did, I never had God in my life, and I never lived this way. So for let's just say the last 20 years, I always used alcohol to have fun or drugs to have fun. I always had the bad attitude towards law enforcement, or a bad attitude towards school, or even a bad attitude towards religion. And I just had a bad attitude towards everything. And it wasn't just me drinking and drugging that made me an alcoholic. It was, even when I was hungover and drunk, and even when I wasn't using, I still had the mindset of an alcoholic, because every time I wanted to have fun or use, wanted to have fun, I would use. I always had the same mindset. I would hang out with the same friends. I tried quitting a few times, and I didn't find AA, and I didn't find God. And of course, I didn't succeed at quitting. And each time I still had this mindset that it just wasn't right. It was selfish. It was just a bad attitude toward life, and it was an angry attitude, and it was a stressful attitude, and I didn't realize, I always thought I was a nice guy and stuff, but until I got in this program and found God and hit my bottom and really turned my life over to God and started working these steps with my sponsor, and had, look, now I had this switch that went off in my head. This sounds stupid, but I had this spiritual experience when it was kind of like a switch that flipped in my head, and all of a sudden, you know, I was in the program, I was sober, okay, and I was still thinking the same way, okay, and then I started working the steps, and then I was working them with the sponsor, and one day I had this switch in my head flip, and I knew I had found what I had been looking for, which was my higher power. I found God. I don't know how I found him, but by doing what I was told in AA, taking the suggestions, doing the work, and doing these things, I found God and found the program, and the switch happened in my head. All of a sudden, my anxiety went away, and this whole peace and serenity started to come in my life every day. And the program became clear to me, and life became clear to me, and it was a real spiritual experience, and you know, it was completely awesome what had happened to me. And it was, you know, it wasn't until I was working these steps with my sponsor and praying to God to help me that he finally came into my life when I needed him. And he came into my life. And I know it sounds goofy and all this, but a switch happened in my life, and it was a turning point at which all my other using life was different, you know. Even when I wasn't or was not using, it was still an alcoholic life, if you can understand that. So yes, I have come. That's why we in alcoholics are so happy in AA. Have I come to myself? Yes. And sorry for being so man, I'm so serious in these videos, and I have to be. You know, I've got a friend now, you know, that hasn't found what I found, and you know, this is a deadly disease. People die of this shit every day, and people take this to the grave, their disease. Either they don't stop, they never hit their bottom, or they physically die of it. It's very serious, and I'm not always very serious until I start talking about this. I'm really kind of a jokester, and I like to play around a lot, have a good time. So anyhow, guys, I hope I kind of made sense out of that, and that's all I have for today. Thanks, guys. Keep it sober, keep it simple, keep coming back. We'll see you on the next one.